Ladies and gentlemen, guys and girls, my name is Raven and welcome back to my channel. Now last night we had the Season 5 reveal stream and I pretty much was only interested in the hero reworks because that's the main thing I wanted to see, what they did with the Kensei, the Conqueror, the Berserker, and now we know exactly what they did, and holy shit, it is kinda crazy, especially the Kensei. But we're gonna get into that in a second. First of all, I am gonna be going through some of the patch notes, okay? So I'm gonna be picking out certain things that I find interesting, and I want to talk about the reworks, mainly just the big changes. So if you want to comb through every single little detail and spend hours just like, theory crafting, whatever you want to do, the patch notes are up on the forum so you can check that out. But yeah, I'm just going to be going through the main things, so keep that in mind. And with that said, let's start off with the Kensei. Now, one of the big things that's happening with the Kensei is the fact that all three top heavies in the chain can now be side cancels. Now, when it comes to his side cancels, okay, so the first top heavy can now be cancelled into his first side attack. It can be cancelled into a dodge and the new melee move called Pommel Strike, which I'll get into in a second. Now, your second top heavy can now be cancelled into your second side attack, and of course your dodge and guard break, so you can't do the Pommel Strike off that one. And his damage has been tweaked a little bit, okay? So they're really focusing on his heavies here, and like they said in the stream, they're really focusing on his gameplay being centered around his top, okay? So, hitting those heavies from the top. So damage-wise, his first side light is now 12 damage, it was 20. His second side light is now 16 damage, it was 20. His third side light is now 20 damage, was 25, and then we start ramping it up, because his first top heavy is now 40 damage, was 30, and his second top heavy is now 40 damage, was 20. So when you start landing those top heavies, you're going to be hitting pretty goddamn fucking hard. And you will be hitting those top heavies quite a bit because of his brand new move, Pommel Strike. He essentially has a 50-50, and that with another move later on called Nature's Wrath, he's going to be fucking insane. So let's talk about Pommel Strike. So his first top heavy can now be cancelled into an unblockable Pommel Strike, okay? So yes, this thing is unblockable, and essentially you go through your new top heavy move animation thing, and then you can cancel that, and you smack him with the butt of your weapon, and then you can follow that up with another attack. Now this is going to be great for obviously opening up turtles, and it's going to be great because it's a 50-50. So essentially you can go for that top heavy, and before you know it, you just let the heavy rip and you smack them, or they think you're going to let it rip, and then of course you change it into the Pommel Strike, and they can't really dodge away because I'm going to get into that in a second. But that is going to be the brand new move he gets, which is Pommel Strike. It's kind of cool. Now Kensei is also getting some brand new chains added to him. So he's getting a heavy light chain, he's getting a heavy light heavy chain, he's getting a heavy light chain, and he's also getting a light heavy light chain. Once again, this is basically just to add the list of shit he can do to just mix stuff up. Now next change is his Swift Strike, okay? So Swift Strike is now performed with the heavy input button, okay? And on top of that, Swift Strike is now considered a heavy attack. So it allows for executions, it costs 12 stamina, was 6, and suffers from the heavy parry penalty. So you have to keep that in mind when you're doing Swift Strike. But on the flip side, Helm Splitter is now considered a light attack again and is interrupted when blocked. And Helm Splitter's damage is also down to 17 from 20. And now we get to his second new move, and that is called Nature's Wrath. So essentially, this attack is blockable, okay? It's not an unblockable attack or anything. It also does 20 damage when you hit someone with it and has huge forward momentum. Now, essentially what this does is if they try and dodge backwards to get away from your heavy attack or your Pommel Strike, you can pretty much just go straight into this move called Nature's Wrath, and you will jump forward massive distance and you'll smack him in the back. Now, you can do this thing from just standing still, and of course, you can do this thing whenever someone tries to jump backwards, you will catch them every single time. So the crux of the Kensei now is that, one, he has a shit ton more cancels. He can cancel any heavy into anything he wants at any point in time, which is kind of crazy. He has that brand new Pommel Strike, which is going to be great for opening up turtles, and of course, it's a 50-50 between the top heavy and that. And then, of course, if you try and dodge backwards, he can just go Nature's Wrath, catch you in the back. And it's pretty insane because he has an answer for everything now. So let's go through this. If you go for a top heavy and he tries to dodge to the side, you can cancel that into a side attack and you can catch him there. If he goes for that top heavy and you try and, go for the parry, he can just cancel that into the Pommel Strike and smack you in the face and then follow up with attack. If you think he's going to go for the Pommel Strike and you get ready to dodge that or whatever, he can just rip through with that heavy, hit you with that. And then, of course, if you try and dodge backwards from the attack, he can just go Nature's Wrath and then catch you with that as well. Pretty much no matter what you try and do, he's going to catch you with something and he's going to fuck you up. The animations look slick and he looks awesome. Honestly, some really good changes on the Kensei here, and I think it's going to push him pretty high up because he was already good before. He just lacked, speed, movement, he lacked openness, that sort of stuff. But now he pretty much seems to have everything he's going to need to fuck people up. So overall, pretty happy with the Kensei changes. Now we're going to be moving on to the Conqueror, and once again, this guy's just going to be fun as fuck to play. I might even start playing him. So first up is the Conqueror's charged heavies, okay? They are now unblockable. Now, before everyone loses their mind, there's something to say here. So there are no more levels of charging, okay? So there's not uncharged, level 1 charged, and fully charged anymore. Pretty much, there's only two versions. Either you throw out a regular heavy attack, or you go for that, you charge it for a second, you'll glow like normal, and then you throw out that unblockable heavy attack. Now, fully charging the attack takes 900 ms. The top heavy unblockable is 800 ms and does 44 damage if you hit that thing, so that's going to hurt a lot. The side heavy unblockable is 700 ms and it does 33 damage. Now, keep in mind, you have to charge it for these to be unblockable. Now, here's a really good change. The stance change while charging is now 100 milliseconds, was 300. So he's going to be able to, if he's charging, switch back into a stance quicker to, block and stuff. Now, the next big change is his superior block rework. So the Conqueror's superior block is gone now, so keep that in mind. He no longer has it. It's been replaced with a regular block, which is the same as the rest of the roster. But keep in mind, Conqueror retains his superior block on the following moves. So his heavy openers, his fully charged heavy openers, his front and side dodges, and his full block stance, which is the big thing that's changing with him. So we'll get into that in a second. But first, we're going to talk about shield uppercut. Now, here comes Conqueror's 50-50, and this thing is fucking crazy good. Basically, all heavies can be cancelled into a shield uppercut. Now, this thing, one, looks cool. He fucking like slammed his shield into their face. It's fun. Now, the shield uppercut is an attack, okay? And it has 800 ms on its attack. It's an unblockable attack as well, so keep that in mind. It's a shield, so you can't really do much with it anyway. It does 10 stamina damage. Now, the shield uppercut can't do damage unless, of course, you take a feat called Shield Basher, which I'm assuming is just going to be like the Haymaker thing for Centurion, where if you do your punches, you can damage people. So that move's going to be pretty goddamn cool in terms of his 50-50s, because now you can throw out those heavies, cancel, smack him in the face. He's just going to be annoying as shit, especially because before, when Conquerors were really good at dodging, then shield slamming and stuff, they were just annoying to fight, but now it's going to be even worse, which is, take it what you will, but still, the move is pretty fun. Now, his chain moves are working a little different as well, so pretty much you can follow up anything with anything, okay? So essentially, a light can be followed up with any light, heavy, or shield bash mix-up. His heavy can be followed up with any light, heavy, or shield bash mix-up, and his shield bash can be followed up with any light or heavy. So like the Kensei, pretty much, he's at any point, he's going to be able to chain it with anything else, which is good because it gives him a shit ton of things he can do, but at the same time, it's going to be a nightmare for anyone versing him because he can once again do anything he really wants at any point in time, so it's going to be pretty funny. Now, his light attacks are getting a buff as well, so his top basic light attack strikes are now 500 ms, they were 600. His light infinite strikes, okay, are now 500 ms, they were 600, and his all light attacks do 15 damage now, they used to be 12. And now we're moving on to his full block stance, which is changing quite a bit. Now, everyone's going to be using full block stance a lot more now because you need to use this thing in order to do some pretty crazy stuff. Now, when successfully blocking an attack from full block stance, you can use a move called Flail Uppercut. Now, what does Flail Uppercut do? So, essentially, this thing is replacing Shield Bash Riposte. Flail Uppercut has a 500 ms strike. It used to be, Shield Riposte used to be 800 ms. It is a heavy input and it does 30 damage and you can execute off of it. Someone goes to throw an attack, your full block stance, okay, they hit you, and then you smack him in the face with that. It does a fair bit of damage, and the fact you can execute off it is pretty fun too, and I'm pretty sure they're not going to be able to block this thing or do anything from it because, they're going to be reeling back from, hitting your shield. So that's the first big thing with a full block stance. But there are some more things to keep in mind. So Conqueror can no longer shield bash, riposte, dodge, or basic attack during full block stance or full block stance exit. Once you do it, you're doing it, and you can't really do anything apart from hope that they hit you, and then of course go for that flail uppercut. But there is a safety net, so Conqueror can zone attack from full block stance. So that's essentially going to be your second thing. If you think they're going to try and guard break you or something, you can then go into that. Now, of course, full block stance defense is now considered superior. Full block stance entry is now 300 ms, it used to be 200, and exiting now is quicker because it's 200 ms, it used to be 400. But this one's going to hurt a little bit, so the stamina cost for entering full block stance is now 20, it used to be 6. That's a massive jump. So you're going to be draining a lot of stamina. But on the upside, your stamina regen cooldown after full block stance has been removed. It used to be 4 seconds or something like that. Basically, it's no longer a thing. So as soon as you full block stance, you'll start regenerating your stamina straight away. So those are the main things on the Conqueror. He's once again going to be pretty goddamn fun to play, and he's going to be pretty insane to verse. He has that 50-50 where he can throw out that heavy and then just, keep canceling it into that shield uppercut thing. He has a flail uppercut now, so if you go for a heavy, he can basically do his full block stance, hit you with that. On top of that, he now has unblockables, which will be opening up turtles with his, charging flail thing. I know a lot of people are going to be upset that they've lost their superior block on, their normal blocks, but at the same time, they at least gave him a lot of options here in terms of making him more aggressive. So now he's still able to be very defensive with his full block stance and stuff, but at the same time, you can actually do more than just smash him, hit him with a heavy attack, and then just light attack every now and then and just be annoying. Now you have actual options to sort of beat people up, which is going to be fun. And now we're moving on to the last one, and that is the Berserker. Now this guy is getting a fair few changes. I'm going to go over the big ones, and some people I've seen are sort of like annoyed at these changes and stuff. Me personally, I'm fine with them. It's going to be great, especially because all I've ever wanted with the Berserker is some way to open people up, so some unblockables here and there, which we've got a couple, and they've also added a few additional things as well. So the first one is your light opener and heavy openers. Now, as anyone who's seen me play the Berserker, I faint a goddamn lot. Now, the good thing about this is your light opener and heavy openers gain uninterruptible stance if used immediately after a feint. So this is going to be pretty goddamn cool because you go for a heavy and then you feint and then you go into a light attack or a heavy attack. It's going to be uninterruptible straight away, so you can basically trade blows a lot easier. It's going to be cool. And now we get into his heavy finishes where we get some unblockable action happening. So his third side heavy finishes are now unblockable, and his second top heavy finishes are now unblockable. But there is some damage changes here, okay? So his third side heavy finishes are now 45 damage. They were 30. Keep in mind that's the unblockable one. But this one's going to hurt a little bit, okay? So his second top heavy finisher now does 30 damage. It used to be 55. So that is quite a nerf to that. So people are going to be using the side heavy ones a bit more, I think. And this will of course help because he's now able to open up turtles, which is going to be great. He's still going to be doing a lot of damage, and of course now he's going to have more ways of actually getting that damage down. And there's one last big change, and that's to his deflect. Before, when you landed deflect, you would automatically go into a guard break, okay? So essentially now it's called brute force, and you can choose whether you want to go into that guard break or not. Once you land that deflect, you can then go for a quick guard break, or you can choose not to. It's totally up to you. So overall, the Berserker's damage, it's going to be, you know, evened out across pretty much all the moves. It's no longer the top heavy is the most damaging one. He now has unblockables in his chain when it comes to the top and the side, which is going to be good for opening people up. And of course, now you got that uninterruptible stance when you're doing all your feint trickery and you're going for your light attacks and all that bullshit. Overall, I'm liking the changes to Berserker. All I ever wanted was some way to open people up. Hopefully now I'll be able to open people up. But yeah, the Berserker's going to be good, but I don't think it's going to hold a candle to the brand new Kensei or Conqueror. I think out of the three, Kensei's pretty much come out on top. That guy's going to be freaking insane. I might have to play Kensei. Who knows? But yeah, that is it, guys. That is all for the hero rework so far. We went over the Highlander and the Nabushi last week. You can check out the video if you want. And of course, yeah, we got these ones now. Remember, all of this is dropping on the 15th. And I heard somewhere, I didn't see it because I didn't watch the full stream because it was like 6 in the morning at my time and stuff. It was a bit crazy. But I'm pretty sure I heard that dedicated servers as well are coming to the PC on the 19th. If that's so, then it's going to be 15th for the launch. 19th is going to be dedicated servers. That will be fucking beautiful. But it's going to be a little bit later for consoles because, of course, they need to go through their verifying with Microsoft and Sony and all that sort of shit. But yeah, if that's true, that's going to be freaking great. These reworks look goddamn amazing. And that's pretty much the end of the video. So thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and let me know your thoughts. What do you think about the Kensei, the Conqueror, and the Berserker? Which one do you think is going to be the most overpowered? I would really love to hear from you guys. For me personally, it's Kensei. I think he's going to be like top dog. He's going to be awesome. So make sure you leave that comment down below. I love hearing from you guys. And please, if you like this video and you like what I'm doing here on the channel and you want to support the channel further, feel free to check out my Patreon. There'll be a link down below in the description box. A link will pop up at the end of the video. And if you choose to donate, it is greatly appreciated. And please share this video around. It does help me out a fuck ton. And if you want to see more videos from me, please hit the subscribe button. I shall see you all in the next video. Have a good one, guys.